2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 1. All right. Thou therefore, my son, be strong in the grace that is Yahushua Mashiach, and the things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses.
Be strong in the grace. Grace is the Lord gave us. Learn. Perform. What?
The same commit thou to faithful men, who shall be able to teach others also.
Right, yeah, faithful men that understand the scriptures, understand the prophecies, that can link the prophecies up with the current events. And that's how you know if that's a true prophet or not. You can effectively do that. And we're the main camp that does that. Probably the only camp that really does that. And if other people do that, it's because they learn from us, from great elders and apostles of Great Millstone. But otherwise, they don't go into the news articles to link up the current events, all right, to further prove that it's about to happen. All right.
Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahushua Mashiach. No man that weareth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life.
Right, with the affairs of this life. All right, man, the public's perception of you. A lot of people, they don't want to come out and preach because they're afraid of public reaction or their perception. Or family members' reaction and reception. Or where you got to travel, being consistent. People are not built for this type of order. Certain people only like to come out once a month. Other people don't. They rather just watch on YouTube. You know, if you're a man of the Lord and you're a prophet, you should be in training right now under other prophets, so you can teach the same thing we teach. Right?
That's succumbing to peer pressure. When you thinking that your peers is going to look down on you because you're coming out here for salvation, you succumb to peer pressure, which in turn is going to
they are going to look down on you, but the thing is, you shouldn't let that be the deciding factor of whether you act or not. Whether you act or not. You know, you act because you believe, not because there's some shit people going to be saying about you or public opinion.
You know, I can add to that. That's basically like a lack of courage. You have to be a certain level of courageous to come out of here. But the scriptures talk about being courageous for Yahweh Shai, being courageous for the Lord. A lot of people lack courage to come out here and endure the elements and just endure, basically, like the brother said, like an example or a spectacle onto these people. We kind of look like crazy men, you know? This isn't like seen as something that is widely accepted, and majority of Israel wants to be accepted by the world. So I kind of want to add to that point.
What? Verse 3. Verse 3. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahushua Mashiach. No man,
endure hardness. Look up hardness for 2 Timothy 2 up. Endure hardness as a good soldier. Like we're soldiers. You can't come up and preach unless you have that mentality, right? That you have a designation. You have to come out and do a specific job. All right, so you stay there and you look up the definition.
The definition for endure hardness is kako patheo. It says suffer, endure evils, hardships, troubles.
Endure evils, hardships, troubles. Right? Whether it be the temperature, whether it be public opinion, you have to endure that. Whether it be sickness, whether to endure speaking, not speaking, all right? You got to endure that. Right? Yeah, one guy said he ain't coming to camp to hold the sign. Then he started doing videos in the bathroom stall.
Dang.
You know? So that's where his mind at. He on his lunch break doing videos with the camera on the door.
Bunch of filth.
Okay, you guys just random people walking in.
Yeah, while he doing the video, it might have been like an employee bathroom. Probably not. It's probably, it's a universal bathroom. Only high-end places have employee separate bathrooms. So yeah, holding the sign, reading, speaking, these are all positions in the camp. What? Well, that's the definition, right? That was
Yeah, it says suffer trouble, undergo hardship, and
Yeah, suffer trouble. Yeah, you got some people
yeah,
that get
that's
into minor setbacks or major setbacks, and then they try to blame the word for it, which is fucking stupid. You just deal with the issue and move on. Ask for help, ask for advice, and then move on.
yeah, that's it.
Read that verse again.
Verse 3. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahushua and Mashiach. This is verse 4 again. No man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life.
The affairs of this life. Okay, and the affairs of this life was that public opinion. That's part of it. Trying to get rich. Trying to get a bunch of women focusing on that. Things that are going to hinder you. All right, that are unnecessary. Because remember, Babylon America is going to be completely destroyed. What?
That he may please him who have chosen him to be a soldier.
Look up, please. Who may please him. Because we're working for Yahweh Shai, so we got our actions got to please the Lord.
Yep. It's a Greek word, aresko. It says to strive to please, to accommodate oneself to the opinions, desires, and interests of others.
All right? So we're out here in a certain form because of Yahweh Shai, all right? Because it's about preaching his word, preaching the gospel. We got to do that in a particular fashion.
Verse 5. And if a man also strive for masteries,
Right?
yet is he not crowned, except he strive lawfully.
Lawfully. So look up mastery.
God, mastery. It says Stefano. It says to encircle with a crown, the victor in the contest to adorn, to honor. Then it says to adorn with an honorary wreath. I guess, yeah, crown.
When you win, get the game, the Greek games, I think you get the wreath when you win. So now, go into the word.
Yeah, that's about it.
I mean, go into the word. You got another word or is that the
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's just crown.
Crown?
Yeah.
Strive for the master. Is it one word or two words? Strive. Compound word.
Oh, I went to masteries first. Strive is another word.
Go to strive.
Yep. It's strive.
Yeah, mastery will be actually finishing. Right, mastery. Go ahead.
Yeah, it says strive, athleo. To engage in a contest, contend in public games, contend for a prize, to endure, to suffer.
Yeah, we actually have to go through the process. Right?
Yep.
And sometimes you get sick, you get weak, you have good days, no bad. So we got to go through the process of striving, fighting to stay in the faith.
Yep. It says to contend in competitive games. Strive. Yeah.
All right, that's good. That's good. All right, go back to the precept.
Verse 6. The husbandman that laboreth must be first partaker of the fruit. Verse 5. And if a man also strive for masteries, yet is he not crowned, except he strive lawfully.
All right, you got to strive lawfully. All right, look up lawfully.
God. It's a Greek word, nomimos. It says lawfully, agreeable to the law, and then it says legitimately. Yeah, that's about it.
Going to the word. Should be one
Oh, right. Yeah, it says it goes back to the Greek word nomos. It says anything established, anything received by usage, a custom, a law, a command. And then it says a law.
Anything established. All right, so we got certain rules. All right, that you're supposed to be. You're eventually supposed to get circumcised. You know, if you really have faith. If you're not circumcised, all right, you got to come to camp on a certain day. You got to participate.
Yep. It says a law or
you got to believe in everything that we preach, the MOTB. All right, the implant. All right, you got to agree with the doctrine pertaining to taking a wife. All right, you can't be emotional about it like you want to protect women. All right, you got to believe what the scriptures say. All right, so you got to strive lawfully.
God. It says a law or rule producing a state approved of the Most High, by the observance of which is approved by the Most High. Yeah, so kind of going back to the word lawfully, anything that's approved by, Yakalba Shai, that's what, a man needs to do. He needs to do, the work in that manner, What scriptures say, in John, basically, what are them who strive, to come up another way? It's only one path you can take.
That's a parable to come up some other way. Yeah. Somebody find that parable about the sheepfold come to the door, come up some other way.
Verse 6, the husbandman that laboreth must be first partaker of the fruits. Verse
Yeah, that's all one right there.
John 10 verse 1. He that, verily, verily, I say unto you, he that entereth not by the door into the sheepfold, but climbeth up some other way, the same is as a thief and a robber.
Thief and a robber. Right? So if you have to go through the ranks, you have to go through Yahushua to actually be in a legitimate office as a prophet. Right? And any prophecy we get, or any good spirit that we get it from Yahushua. He sent us his Holy Spirit. What?
Verse 2, but he that entereth in by the door is the shepherd of the sheep. To him the porter openeth, and the sheep hear his voice. Verse 2, but he that entereth in by the door is the shepherd of the sheep. To him the porter openeth, and the sheep hear his voice, and he calleth his own sheep by name, and leadeth them out.
All right, so I think it's going to say down that the sheep hear the Lord's voice. That's how we know who's of the elect. All right. Now, the scriptures tell you that people shall be willing in the day of thy power also. But we can see brothers now that are contending, that believe in the prophecies, as we teach, all right? We just don't teach just the basic stuff. We teach it more broad, all right? So you can have a fundamental and a wider understanding of everything, like you're supposed to. That's what prophecy is supposed to teach. According to the times, that's according to the prophecy. We're not teaching out of time. We're teaching in time. All right? We're teaching exactly what's about to happen. What's the implant, martial law, and the famine. That's what we teach. We're the main group that teaches them about everything. Right? That's the things that are about to happen. Not just that you're an Israelite. Is that it? Was there more on that? No, there's more on that. Why don't you go back to that?
Verse 4. And when he put forth his own sheep, he goeth before them, and the sheep follow him, and they know his voice. Verse 5, a stranger will they not follow, but will flee from him, for they know not the voice of strangers.
Yeah, that's why we started seeing people with the, I call them belly shirt garments. We knew that wasn't the right thing to do. We don't wear garments that are with t-shirts with fringes and border blue. We don't do that. That's a different
Yup.
That's a different tradition. We never learned that tradition. So, and the Lord never said that you're supposed to wear a garment like that. All right. But that's just one thing among many. So we know when soon as we see that, oh, there's something wrong with them. That's not. There's no way they're teaching exactly the same thing we teach them. The t-shirts on with borders of blue and fringes, but it's a t-shirt. All right.
Verse 6, this parable spake Yahushua unto them, but they understood not what things they were which he spake unto them. Then Yahushua said unto them again, Verily, verily, I say unto you, I am the door of the sheep, and all that ever come before me are thieves and robbers, but the sheep did not hear them. Verse 9, I am
sheep of the Israelites. Right. And Yahushua, the door is the door.
I am the door. By me, if any man enter in, he shall be saved, and shall go in and out and find pasture.
Right, you can't enter into the door unless you're taking heed to the words of the prophets. Right. Turn it the other way. Read that verse again.
Come on, verse 9. I am the door. By me, if any man enter in, he shall be saved, and shall go in and out and find pasture.
Right. So you got to know the name too. The name of Yahweh and the name of His Son, Yahushua. Right. If you don't have that name, you don't have the part of the key. That's the name you invoke when you need help. If you invoke the name of Christ, you're not going to get any help. You got to invoke the name of Yahushua. And you can't do it. You can't do it in vain. Like I saw one video. He invoked the name of the Lord, and it was unnecessary. Why did you invoke the name of the Lord? Because somebody was recording in public. You know, you can record in public. Right? And he ain't like being recorded. Right? It wasn't like the video was about him. It was just the guy was just recording in public. You know, and he invoked the name of Yahweh, Hashem Yahushua. It's like you going off, dude. That's a truck driver. Right? So you gotta use the name of the Lord responsibly. You can't just invoke the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua when someone's doing something that you don't like. You just can't invoke the name. He has to actually be committing a sin. Right? Got it? No,
More.
Yeah, hold that there.
Done.
Go back there. You have a precept?
No.
You got a precept down there?
Yeah, I got one.
Read what you got.
This is Psalm 46 and 1. It says, the Most High Yahweh Shai is our refuge and strength, a very present help in time of trouble.
Say that again, but exalt your voice.
This is Psalms 46 and verse
Exalt your
1.
voice like you're yelling. Yell.
This is Psalms 46 and 1. It says, the Most High Yahweh Shai is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble.
Present help in trouble. Look up, somebody get that Psalm 46. Look up help. 46 and 1.
Got it. Help.
Yeah, help.
God, it's a Hebrew word, Izara, or Izara. It says help, succor, assistance, one who helps.
Core. And get a Psalm, not Psalm. Psalm 18 or Proverbs 18? Name of the Lord.
Proverbs 18:10.
Proverbs
Yeah,
18.
I got it right here, actually.
And then look up safe. Read that and look up safe.
You said Proverbs 18 and 10.
Yeah, I got it.
Read it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you read it. You read it and then he look at it.
Proverbs 18, verse 10. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe.
All right, look up safe. Name of the Lord.
God, it's a
Accessibly, God.
God, it's a Hebrew word, shagab. It says to be high, inaccessibly high, or to be set securely on high. And then it says
Too high for capture. Too high for capture. Inaccessibly high.
Yeah.
So that's the help we get from the Lord by invoking His name. Yahweh and the Son Yahweh Shai. Inaccessibly high. Too high capture. But what you read was good. We can read it again.
Proverbs 18, verse 10. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe.
I can read the definition again.
God, Hebrew word for safe is shagab. It says, yeah, to be too high for capture, to be high of prosperity, to be set on high, be safely set on high.
Right. Not Christ. You can't invoke the name of Christ or Jesus and be too high for capture. All right. Inaccessibly high. All right. The Lord said He's going to bear us up in His wings lest we dash our foot against a stone. All right. So you invoke the name of Yahweh Shai, He's going to protect you.
Yep.
Yeah, I was going to also add, like, how also can you be high from danger if you don't even, or inaccessible from danger if you don't even know the danger that presents itself, like MOTV. You're not even, basically getting your knowledge right on the MOTV. So how can you possibly be exalted or high above that, that evil if you don't know nothing about it? You're not like one of the people of it, So.
It says a little bit more, especially inaccessible. When you get the word inaccessible, it means
yeah, basically that's what I'm trying to say. Like, how can you be inaccessible from danger if you're not preaching one of the main dangers that's going to be bewitch all the people? Which is
Yeah,
like
you're not going to know. You're not going to know that it is dangerous.
Yeah. It's like I want to do a video on it, but it's like when they came with the Trojan horse. And they didn't realize that was danger, and they just let him in, and they slaughtered the whole fucking. They said, "Oh yeah, it's a gift from the Romans." So they bring in this Trojan horse, and that's that's basically these people. Like they ain't being true watchers. They ain't watching danger.
Other Greeks.
Oh yeah, the Greeks. It's like yep, the Greeks. Yep. The water for that. But yeah, that's how Esau gonna come with this MOTB as this great thing. And if you're not warning the people, like listen, that's danger. It's gonna come in and take up that whole your whole congregation. I just want to say that.
So that links up with our temptation.
Yep.
Our temptation. The Lord said He's going to keep us from the hour of temptation.
Yep. Revelation chapter 3 verse 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation.
Look up, keep thee from the hour of temptation. The word of His patience. Right. Endure suffering. Patience. Patience. No, keep. Keep thee. I can read it. I can read it. Three.
All right. So this is the definition of temptation. The ale is a Greek word.
Keep.
Oh yeah. This definition of keep: to attend to carefully, to take care of, to guard. That would be the second.
Guard, take care of. Attend carefully. To attend carefully. Keep.
To guard, metaphor, to keep one in the state which he is.
Yeah, to keep one in the state that he is. So that's the Lord going to feed and nourish His elect. Keep us from our temptation, which is the implant. All right? And everything attached to the implant. All right? Which if you don't take the implant, you'll be cut out from the system. All right? I mean, you won't be able to buy or sell. All right? And that's what the Lord promised His elect. All right? Keep us inaccessible to Esau's wrath. Right?
because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world, to try them that dwell upon the earth.
All right, the try meaning the test. See whether you are faithful or not. All right? And it's going to come upon all the world. The world is in the elders would possibly say in the oikoumene sense. All right? Meaning it's going everybody in the say the industrialized world are going to have that implant put in front of their face. You got to choose whether you're going to take it or not.
Behold, I come quickly, hold the fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown.
That no man take thy crown. All right, what we have, we got the prophecy. All right, the prophecy says in Revelation 13, 15, that he's going to make an image of the beast. All right, that's the system. All right, and we're not supposed to. You set an image up so it can be worshipped. That's the reason why you set an image up. All right, and the image that Esau has set up is, the guidelines, the laws, regulations, right, that we have to follow. Like if every god has, a code, like a code of conduct, what you can do, how you're supposed to work with that god. That's what Esau got set up. He set the image up, and one of the things you got to do is you got to take the implant, and you got to take the drugs. What are you saying? Anything significant or just stupid shit?
He said, you guys are not the tribes of Israel. Sorry.
That's an Edomite. Who the fuck is you? Who the hell are you? We are the tribe. We get a prophecy on that right now.
You see those comments? You see those comments?
I ain't see it.
Oh.
He said,
Get Deuteronomy 28 by the yoke of iron.
He also asked if we're cold out here, like that means something.
yeah,
We are cool. Because the scripture say we'll get in season, out of season.
Are you gonna bring us some hot chocolate?
No, why?
Like asking?
Well, I got tea right here.
Yeah, see?
All right. See a little bag on the side. I mean, tea in there. It's hot, piping hot. We get Deuteronomy 28, the prophecy on the yoke of iron. The Israelites, there's going to be a yoke of iron put around the Israelites' neck when we want our ancestors wanting slavery. That's one clue how we know where the biblical is. Just a few scriptures.
Deuteronomy 28, verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee.
Right. So-called blacks and Latinos were enslaved, and Native Americans were in slavery to the so-called white man, to the devil.
Yep.
All right. Esau wasn't in slavery to nobody of significance. To be completely humiliated, stripped from our heritage, our language. All right. That didn't happen to the so-called white man.
Nope.
That didn't happen to those guys that wear the little hats. All right. So this prophecy only can be talking about those three classifications of people. All right? We are the children of Israel. What?
In hunger and in thirst and nakedness.
And nakedness. We were on auction blocks, naked, and they were inspecting our genitals and our body parts to see if we were good to be sold.
Yep.
We are the children of Israel. That didn't happen to the so-called white man. All right?
And in want of all things.
And in want of all things, meaning that the whole system is set up that we have to serve the so-called white man. We got to serve Esau. All right? For food, clothing, education, we got to serve Esau to get that. Esau, they work together. They had the whole system on lock. So-called white man is Esau.
The devil.
Yeah, the devil and Satan. That's why in the book of Revelation, he had to have the Lord locked his ass up for 1,000 years.
Oh yeah, he's saying Esau's not the white man. Okay, so who is the white man?
Get Genesis 27. Get Genesis 27. Get the law, the prophecy that Isaac gave Esau.
Yep.
That's how we know that. This is how we know that so-called white man is Esau, because he has the most powerful technology on the planet, which is the missile and satellites. He invented that shit. right?
If I can say one thing for certain, no matter what you want to argue, who's Israel, who's not, we can 100% say that whoever's Israel is not in power right now. So it can't
Right.
possibly be anybody that's saying that they're Israel right now.
Exactly,
You know?
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so the biblical Israelites will be the poorest, stupidest people on the planet.
Yep.
All right, that will be us, so-called Black, Latinos, Native Americans. We're the last. We're the last of the people. If you would put the great nations on the planet right now, they would look at us as the weakest
Yep.
and less intelligent people on the planet. That's how the world will look at the children of Israel. And that's a punishment from the Most High God.
Yeah, I got
All right,
that.
the Israelites are the lowest people relative to the nation's opinion. All right, so that cannot be talking about any group of so-called white people, sir.
Yep.
They're on the top, so it's impossible. Okay, it is absolutely impossible for any so-called white man to be an Israelite. All right.
Got quick on what you said.
Well,
This Baruch 2:4 it says, moreover, he hath delivered them to be in subjection to all the kingdoms that are round about us.
all right, so we cannot be talking about any so-called Caucasian race of people. Wherever they spread out on the earth, it cannot be talking about them. All right, they are the top people, or you are. I don't know if you're a so-called white man. You are the top people on the planet Earth. You have the most money, the best, greatest technology. It is impossible for you to be an Israelite, because that would mean you are not under the curses.
It says, to be as a reproach and desolation among all the people round about.
A reproach, right? What I believe that means shameful, shame. We're shamed. We're the worst. We are the most shameful people on the planet because of our behavior and our history of being slaves. We're ashamed. We're under that shame.
You know, I just want to add a point because he's saying we're wrong because we're supposed to be a powerful nation. Meanwhile, he's not acknowledging that Israel is under the curses and still under the curse. We're under a punishment. So
Right.
we're not going to be this
Well,
powerful
the thing
nation
is,
right now.
these guys, they ignore what the Bible actually says.
Exactly. Yep.
The only way they can be right is if they ignore what the Bible says. The
Yep.
Bible says that the Israelites are going to be poor.
Yep.
Give me where David said, I am poor and needy. All right? David constantly says that in reference to future prophecies because David was not poor at all. David was super rich.
Yep.
Okay?
Israel is a
He
powerful
was
nation.
royalty. The reason why David was saying how important needy, he was talking about his progeny.
Yep.
When David said they pierced my hands and my feet, he was talking about the Lord. When he put on the cross. He wasn't talking about himself. David's feet and hands were never pierced. All right? So I am poor and needy. What?
Psalms chapter 40, verse 17. But I am poor and needy, yet the Lord thinketh upon me. Thou art my help and my deliverer. Make no tarrying, O my Lord.
Again,
Oh my
but in
God.
Daniel, when it said that it had not been done so Israel, that it had been done on all the earth. Oh, forget what that is. All right. What other points we had that we're going to make?
So we're going to bring the blessing up.
Esau's blessing.
Genesis,
This how we know that the so-called white man is Esau. All right, he calls himself white, but he's not white. That's was made up in 1681. All right, before 1681, there was no group of people called white people. All right, they were called by their a specific country where they were born. All right, but I'm sure he doesn't know that either. There you go.
Genesis 27, verse 38. And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. Verse 39. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and the dew of heaven from above, and by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother.
Right there. So that's the prophecy. All right? By the sword shalt thou live and serve. All right? So what is Esau's blessing? Esau's blessing is a sword. All right? Esau's blessing is a sword. And when you look up the other prophecies on Esau, it tells you that wherever Esau, give me Micah, about the border of wickedness.
He made a comment that blacks are not the twin brothers of whites or something like that. He said they're not, blacks and whites are not twin brothers.
Well, I mean,
Which-
prove that we're not.
Which, when you look at Jacob and Esau, there was a clear distinction of physical appearance.
Well,
So-
I don't want to speculate what he means by that, but he can just say it, but he can't prove it. All right? We are Esau's brother, Jacob, because we fit the prophecies. All right? That's the same thing as saying that we're not Israelites. You're not saying anything like new. You're just saying something additional of what you originally said. All right?
I got Job 9:24.
Yeah, go. All right, that's good. Yeah.
Con, this is Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
Right. That means who's controlling the earth? How you know who controls the earth? Who controls the money? Who controls the money? The so-called white man controls the money. All the nations buy in to his money programs. All right? That's how you know who runs the earth. Who controls the air? The so-called white man. You have to speak English to be a pilot. All right? So on. You can't get around that. And again, all these guys do is they ignore the facts and jump to another point. That's how you know who controls the earth. Who controls the air, who controls the sea, who polluted and destroyed the earth,
Yep, that's a
all right,
good one, yep.
and who controls the money. All links back to one group of people. All right, well, they got the little hats. But they're brothers, okay? They look exactly the same. All right, they call themselves white or Caucasian. Those are the people, all right? And we are the brother of Esau, Jacob, because we fit all the curses of Jacob, all right? Meaning we went into slavery, into hardcore bondage, and served slavery, for 350 plus years, all right? We lost our language, our heritage. When you look up the different religions and names in West Africa and in the Caribbean and South America, you would know they were speaking Hebrew. But you don't know that though, right? You would think they were Africans and Latinos. We were speaking Hebrew in West Africa, right? You ignore that, right? And you continue with your next point, your next question. That's the only way you can be right. The Northern Kingdom, all right? They were speaking Hebrew. They're archaeological finds of the Latinos, Native Americans writing Hebrew, speaking Hebrew.
Right.
Right? We're doing Hebrew Israelite customs. The garments with the borders and the fringes. These are Hebrew Israelite customs that our people over here in the New World were keeping. Right? That were separated from the Old World. Right?
Yep.
That's how we know we're the Israelites, right? Because of history, because of our traditions, right? That you obviously don't know about, sir.
He said, you guys don't even match Deuteronomy 28.
Yeah, he keeps going on.
I
Say
guess
again?
he said you guys don't even match Deuteronomy 28.
Match, what the word?
Match.
Match. Yeah, we went match through them. We had the yoke of iron on that.
Yeah, and it says the children of Israel will be brought in slave ships, onto Egypt. This that spiritual Egypt, man,
Yeah,
all over again.
yeah. America is spiritually. When you look up, give me a revelation where it says spiritually Sodom, Egypt. Also, our Lord was crucified. But you gotta understand when you read the scriptures, it's a parable. All right, when it says that we were going to Egypt again with ships, well, get Deuteronomy 28. Somebody get Revelation.
Deuteronomy 28, verse 68.
What?
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
Right. So that's referring to a spiritual Egypt. All right, spiritual Sodom, spiritual Rome. All right.
Yep.
Because when you go into the history, the children of Israel never went back into actual Egypt and were sold into slavery. All right. There's no account of the Israelites going back into Egypt and going through the worst slavery they ever experienced. That type of slavery it's not even recorded in Egypt at all. The type of slavery that the children of Israel were prophesied to go through didn't happen in Egypt at all, actual Egypt. So we know, because of that being a fact, it can't be talking about actual Egypt. It has to be talking about another place. So give me Revelation where it says spiritually Sodom and Egypt.
This Revelation 11 and 8, it says, and their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified.
Yeah, spiritually called. That's what the key point is, spiritually called. So when you look at Deuteronomy, it talks about Egypt is spiritual Egypt. All right? Not actual Egypt, because our ancestors, or whoever you believe it is, are the Israelites, never went back to Egypt and served the worst slavery that has ever been, that a people have ever gone through. All right? The children of Israel went through that. Those people with the little hats, they didn't go through that type of slavery that's prophesied in Deuteronomy 28. Deuteronomy 15 on down. Read 15 on down. The guys that wear the little hats didn't go through that slavery. They didn't go back to ancient Egypt and suffer Deuteronomy 28. The only people that come even close to it is us. We embody Deuteronomy 28 chapter. The little hats don't embody that. All right. Whether, and again, there was no ancient Egypt slavery. All right. That was according to Deuteronomy 28. The Egypt is referring to is America. Okay. That slavery did not happen in ancient Egypt. Deuteronomy 28. All right, what do you got to say now?
No, I was going to add to that too, because he's just going off. He went into the Dead Sea Scrolls. So
so he's jumping from point to point, not dealing with the facts.
Yeah, he's also saying America's not Egypt, but I do want to say this. Like you said, to further that point, that
well, the word Egypt is a Greek term which means bondage, captivity.
To further go into your point about how Israel is really the only ones that went through that type of captivity. The type of captivity that the Bible speaks of is like we were going to plant a harvest and not reap the harvest.
We're
right?
going to read it.
Yeah,
right. But the thing is, he's going to jump from point to point. Now he's on the Dead Sea Scrolls now.
Yeah, no one else has went through that. If you look at some of the, because a big argument that everyone likes to go through is like, oh, well, everybody on the planet was slaves at one point. Yeah, but who built a whole nation and didn't reap the benefit of it?
Who was on the auction block?
Yeah. Who literally was out in the cotton fields making big money for Esau? All right, who actually built buildings? All right.
Who was in gold mines, sugarcane fields?
Yep.
Not so-called white people.
Yep.
Yeah, shit. And who got basically stripped, of their heritage?
Yeah, exactly. Yep. And then the other thing too is like, okay, even if you took the little hats and took a little bit of the persecution that they went through, this 6 million, right?
It wasn't slavery.
Did they build any empires up?
Those are prison camps.
Did they build any empires up and not benefit from it? Like the scriptures say is going to happen to that that punishment, right? That curse.
They don't match.
That 6 million does not match the curses that actually befell Israel. So they can't possibly be.
And that's just death. We're not. That's
exactly.
Just,
yeah. All it was. Yeah.
The scriptures right here. We were going to die.
Exactly.
We were going to go through more. Besides death, we were going through an experience.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
So Deuteronomy 28:15 on down talks about experiencing a living hell.
Yep.
Right?
It was more than just an extermination.
Not just you getting put to death.
Yeah, put to death. Yep.
All right, this is referring to experiencing a living hell. So we can read Deuteronomy 28:15 too.
Which, mind you, one quick point to that too is during that time of that 6 million number, it was during a war. All right, so a lot of them, just like Esau did with the CV-19 deaths. Everyone was dying of CV-19, even though they were dying from other things. The same thing can be proven about that 6 million number. That it's so skewed.
Again, it's just death. Okay?
Yep.
It's not a total experience for years.
Yep.
300 plus years.
Yeah, it's not like they built up Germany and then for a time. But it's like I just want to add that point. So who else falls so close to those priests, those scriptures, those curses?
Right, but I bet he won't answer that.
No, he just keeps saying no. It's not that. It's not that.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, I got
Genesis 35 and Genesis 17.
This is Daniel chapter 9 and 11. Like I was going into the experience, and we went to the most atrocities done in history on the people.
That's what I told you.
It's not comparable to nobody else.
Exactly.
It's literally not comparable.
And Esau has monuments throughout the world, telling us or telling the world, like the IMF, they got about the Native Americans, about our atrocities, about Judah atrocities. You know, you can't compare our atrocities with the rest of the world. It's incomparable.
And I also want to say, anytime any one of these people on the side had any little bit of like, you know, establishment of some sort, who came down and absolutely destroyed it? You know, we never had. We are still under our captivity. We do not have anything that's establishable, right? Like you had the Panama deception, right? The Panama Canal, like they came through and destroyed all them people.
Yeah, for money. It was for money.
Yeah,
So they could find a quicker route to trade their goods. But
It's like, this is Daniel chapter 9 and 11. It says, yea, all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore the curse is poured upon us in the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of God, because we have sinned against him. And he have confirmed his words which he has spake against us and against our judges that judge us, by bringing upon us a great evil. For under the whole heaven have not been done as have been done upon Jerusalem.
so it's unique. Our slavery is absolutely unique. Okay? When when the so-called white man put us in slavery, he took our language and our culture from us. Where did that happen to anybody else? In China, so Chinese, Cantonese, different ethnic groups amongst the Chinese, different ethnic groups amongst the Southeast Asians. You got our people so stupefied that you got Latinos that believe that Spanish is their original language. They actually believe that shit with their whole heart. That if you don't speak the proper Spanish, you're not really culturally aware of who you are. They think that's actually a part of their heritage to speak the Spanish language, and it's ingrained in their psyche. You got to speak Spanish. And it's different, especially if you're a Mexican, you got different classifications of Mexicans, you know? Yakalba Page, that's another thing, the name of the Lord. The name of the Lord is not Jesus and God, all right? What you believe the name of the Lord is, all right? If you're a real Israelite, you know the name of the Lord is in Hebrew, and you can't translate it to another language. All right, and that Jesus is a made-up word. If you don't even believe that, then that means you just fucking talking. All right. Continue what the spirit was going on. Did we read everything?
Yeah, I'm good.
I got it.
Did you read it? You have a second one?
No, I'm good.
What other one you had?
I had Romans
We know you were
8.
an unbeliever anyway.
Romans,
It's just for the other people that might be curious.
Romans 8:16.
That's how you know an unbeliever is. He won't deal with the facts. He just keep jumping to different points.
Oh, yeah,
That's how you
yeah.
know he's just an unbeliever.
Con.
He don't want to deal with, okay, who is this prophecy talking about if it's not talking about us? Give some examples. Nope, he jumps in the other point. There you go.
Yeah,
that shows how intelligent he is.
Before you can even build a foundation with this guy, he must immediately just try to jump to something else.
Right.
You know, because you can't. That way you can.
And he can't deal with the power that was coming out because we're right.
It says, it says Proverbs 23:9, speak not in the ears of a fool, for he will despise the wisdom of thy words.
There you go. Perfect. Now, give me the other one that who that rebuketh the wicked man gives himself a blot. Put blot in there. That's a good point. And that's why you know we're just doing it for edification. We're not actually trying to convince this fucker.
Yeah.
Because his mind is going. This is beyond just scriptures. He's a stupid person. Like if you were trying to explain to him a concept outside of his what he previously understood before, he couldn't get that either.
He also has to explain your favorite precept too, where it says about how he who said he's a people, he shall no longer be called a people.
Oh yeah,
We are no longer called a people. Yeah.
Hosea, yeah.
How do you explain that?
So he's saying it. So he said, well, in the place where it said, "You're not my people,"
Yep.
and he's saying that
Yep,
you should be called the sons of the living God.
Yep.
All right, because he's one of the main guys. Well, his people, he probably Edomite. Is that a God we know or no?
Was that
Scoffer, but previous scoffer or a new guy?
the scoffer right now? Same scoffer.
I mean, is it someone from a previous comment?
I don't know. I think this guy.
Or he might have changed his name.
Yeah.
I seen that.
Oh, you seen it?
I seen that.
You seen it before?
Yeah. He don't believe what we had to say, but he's on different channels.
Okay. What was I just saying before?
He's got his obsession.
Proverbs 9:7.
About the black. I want you to read it.
Wait for lies to come
Gone.
up. Talk shit.
Proverbs 9:7. He that reproveth a scorner getteth himself shame, and he that rebuketh a wicked man getteth himself a blot.
And look up blot. Give himself a blot. Right? This is why we're not really trying to convince you or anything. We just reading it just for brothers might not understand. There might be certain nuances. All right, and we're convicting you too. So because you know, we already know that you know we're telling the truth. We know that you know that we're telling the truth. You just don't want to admit it. Because an intelligent person, when he's debating, he would debate fairly. All right? Instead of jumping to different points, he would deal with the subject at hand. Blot.
Hebrew word for blot is ma'awam. It says blemish, spot, defect. It says
defect. So we're not gonna injure ourselves just to try to convince you of something. And we know you're a wicked person. Right? Say something special? Or?
Yeah, you mind if I bring this out? So he said, because this actually goes against you, sir. It says blacks and Mexicans were taught the Bible by the white man. You knew nothing about it. But that's
not true. Well, before you say that, like I said previously, you go into our history. You go to West Africa, go to the Caribbean, South America, Mexico. You'll find Hebrew. Okay, Hebrew. All right. You'll find Hebrew customs. Again, the only way you can be right, sir, is if you ignore the facts. Okay. You had the Torah was being read in West Africa. Okay, in Hebrew. Before slavery, all right, you had customs amongst the Latinos, Mexico, yeah, the fringes, the borders of blue, okay, that's in Mexican culture, in Central American culture, sir. You said that the white man taught us the Bible. No, what the white man taught us was plantation Christianity. So plantation Christianity is different from the scriptures. Plantation Christianity teaches you to be a slave. It teaches you to worship the so-called white man.
He took out the
Yeah, I was going to say, and the thing is, you got to explain how it talks about how the 10 tribes are going to go over, and they were going to try to follow the commandments over there, which they weren't following in their own land, which ultimately we didn't follow. So, yeah, we went a horn after other gods. We started following other philosophies and not following the true prophecy. But ultimately, we were keeping the commandments to an extent, but we ultimately went off. So yes, right. when Esau came over, he started teaching us a new a new way of things.
Right, and we don't teach nothing that the so-called white man taught us.
Exactly.
So what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah.
You said the white man taught us the Bible. We don't teach nothing that Esau, the so-called white man taught. Everything we teach is against him, against the so-called white man. So what the hell are you talking about? You taught us how to speak English?
Yeah.
That's what you're saying?
That's what he's saying. Yep.
So taught us how to speak English. Yep. Okay. And that's why we got the Hebrew, the Greek, and we can look up the definitions of the meanings of these words, so we know that the Bible is actually against the so-called white man. The Bible is against the slavery that he put us under.
Yep.
Huh? What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, well, that wouldn't even be true anyways, because anything Esau knows, he fucking stole.
Right.
He stole. He's a culture vulture. He steals everything. How could you even begin to say that?
Yeah. Shit, when he came here, he had clothes rotting off his back. You know, the so-called Native Americans needed to teach him, you know, how to actually function and live.
Yeah, how to plant, how to use the farming technology that Gad had here already. He had to teach them, Esau, how to plant certain seeds. Because just because you see the plant don't mean you know how to harvest the seed and all that. Esau had to learn that from Gad, the tribe, the northern kingdom, the Native Americans, so they can survive.
Like, don't they have like a slogan or a saying about how culture really started with the Greeks? Something to that effect?
History.
History, culture, right? But the thing of it is the original Greeks or Grecians were Japhetic.
Right. They were melanated people.
They were melanated people.
Melanated.
Those were your Polynesians, your Aborigines of Australia, okay, Samoans, Minoans, right? So-called Pacific Islanders. They were the original Greeks before Esau took over those territories and ultimately took over their cultures.
Yeah.
So,
well, the scripture said the seed of evildoers should never be renowned. Right, so the so-called white man, every
Now, and you notice, now he's in power right now, okay? And his influence has gone throughout the world. But remember, everything he's got in as far as policy and political structure and everything else, he adopted that from all the ancient kingdoms. You know, he took it from the old world and implemented it into his kingdom. You know, it's just amplified. It's magnified since he's come into power. What's magnified? The wickedness, because it's reached a greater extent. Because it's been given into the power of his hand. Up until a certain point, which we're basically at that threshold, okay, where he's coming out of power. You know, that little season is almost up.
Going down. Yeah. And the Bible, you could say, was reintroduced to us, right?
Well,
by Esau. All right, because we already, again, before Esau came to America, we were already keeping customs already. All right?
right. Well, that's true. That's true. Like the brother outlined about the 10 tribes. How did they know to have fringes or to use the Hebrew? Because they carried those customs and those beliefs generationally. But little by little, they began to fall away from their customs. But where did they originally learn that? They learned that
in the land of Israel.
They learned that under Moses, because they were given the laws. What laws? The laws to have a beard on your face, laws to keep fringes on your garments, right? So on and so forth. Esau didn't teach that. We learned that from our ancestors, which was passed down generationally.
Right, and there was no swine, I believe, in America.
That is true.
No,
that was all imported.
Imported from Europe.
Yep.
Right. And so the tribes that were here didn't eat pork.
And this guy don't understand prophecy. It's clear he don't understand prophecy. All right, we were going to fall away. Right, we were going to take on the customs of the other nations. Okay, through force, through being conquered. But there was going to come a time where we were going to wake back up to who we really are. You know, come back to those things.
Give me 3 days and a half. We'll read that.
Right.
At 3 days and a half, we're electing and we'll go through the curse.
What is it?
I'm sorry.
Where it says,
This is right at the ruins in Central America. It shows the Star of David engraved into the ruins, and that's actually in Honduras. So we knew our customs before everybody else came over.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I believe it was written.
That'll be proof.
That it shall be brought to your remembrance, though you once knew this. How did we once know this? Okay.
Though you once knew this, right? Yeah. So who are the Israelites? If we ain't the Israelites, then we fit all the prophecies for the Israelites.
Yeah. Right? And if those little hats are the so-called chosen people, then we would be in the kingdom of heaven. The world would be at peace. The world's not at peace. The world is at war right now.
Right. They're the richest. The people that wear the little hats, they own the Federal Reserve. They're the most billionaires, millionaires. All right? So it's impossible for us to be talking about them. Literally impossible.
Yeah.
They haven't found the other tribes either.
All right, did you read that?
Yeah, I did. I explained it to them.
I mean, you got people today that get offended when we bring up the hardcore slavery that Judah, Benjamin, well, all the tribes, but specifically Judah, Benjamin, and Levi went through. They have a problem with that, but they have a whole, a day or a month where they explicitly want you to remember the so-called Holocaust. They want you to specifically remember that. But when we talk about the atrocities that happened to us, that was in the past. They make very light of it. Nobody wants to deal with that. Nobody wants to deal with that. You're in direct denial of something that is, so heinous, so just, gross, man. The atrocities that happened to Judah, Benjamin, Levi, and all the tribes. All the tribes. You just don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, work to death of gold mines. Northern Kingdom, they can still go and take it back to Europe. And
you know what it's like. There's just so much you could talk about. The evidence is overwhelming. You got the Tuskegee experiments. You got Black Wall Street. How many times has we've been attacked? You know, throughout history.
Esau is so damn wicked that he made up his own bank and then lied and says it's a part of the United States government.
Yeah.
So whenever we go in, so whenever we're in debt to ourselves. That's how fucking stupid is that?
Right.
We're in debt to ourselves. So if we're in debt to ourselves, then you can just forgive our debt then.
Right.
Obviously, it can't be a part of the government. It's a private bank. Owned by the guys that wear the little hats on their head. Right? It can't. The Federal Reserve. That's how wicked and powerful the so-called white man is. The Caucasians are. They created their own money.
Right.
All right. And a lot of them wear the ones that own it wear the little hats. Little hats on their head. They call them yarmulkes, I believe. They wear yarmulkes. All right. They're the richest, most powerful people on the planet.
Yep.
All right. And the Lord, what did the Lord say about a rich man?
Shall barely enter the kingdom.
Said he'll hardly get to the kingdom of heaven. So they can't be the people. The Bible is against everything, their whole action, their very existence, and their position proves that they're not the people.
Right.
All right? So we're the opposite of them. We're the poorest people on the planet.
Yeah.
And that's contingent upon the economy that we're in.
I got Psalm 73 and I got Revelation.
And it's prophecy. Can I read something real quick, Baba Kushai?
All right, we're about to wrap up, right? So everybody read the last scriptures out. So read everything you got. Read what you got. Read everything y'all got. So read what you got.
Yeah, I just wanted to read this. This is Deuteronomy 28 and verse 40.
In a straight line.
Deuteronomy 28 and 45. It says, "Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee and shall pursue thee and overtake thee till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy power to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee." So we're just going over some of those
Until thou
curses.
be destroyed. That's the key point. Until thou be destroyed.
Yeah.
All those curses.
Yep.
That has only happened to us.
Right.
It's not happened to any group
Right.
of so-called white people. All those groups are you guys that are grouped up in the different countries and everything. They're all powerful.
Right.
All right. We are the ones that are weak and poor.
That's right. That's right. It says, "And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever." Meaning,
so your condition
Right.
is a sign, whether it's good or bad.
Right.
So the condition of the JEW and his brothers, the other Caucasian people, their condition is a sign on them.
right.
All right. So they have money, they're rich, they're intelligent. They go to these live in good neighborhoods. They got great education. They have savings,
You see,
stocks, bonds,
right.
and the same thing's on us.
Y'all
We have that
Hey,
quote
Mike.
unquote mark is on us of being.
y'all brothers,
being poor.
y'all brothers see the movie "You People" yet with Jonah Hill and Eddie Murphy?
I keep seeing
Okay.
previews.
Okay. There's a
So
segment. We all gotta watch that. There's a segment where they're sitting down at the table. You got Jonah Hill. You got the so-called well, the little hats on one side of the table. You got Jake, Eddie Murphy on the other side of the table, and they're going back and forth about who suffered worse. And the Jake woman asked the older so-called small hat, well, what was your father? Because he said, "What do you do for work?" He said, "Oh, well, I'm a podiatrist." And she goes, "Okay, well, what was your father?" "Well, he was a podiatrist." "Well, what was your father before that?" "Oh, he was a podiatrist." And so they were going back, and they're basically making the point that you claim all that suffering, and yet you have all these resources, you have all these opportunities. Your father's father was a podiatrist. So they were making the point, and it's like it went dead silent, and the so-called little hats, they stopped for a second and looked up like, But you got to watch it because there was a whole exchange going on, Because remember, that's the topic of debate. It's a major topic right now on who the real Israelites are, right? That whole debate has gone global, since Ye made certain statements, Kyrie Irving.
Right. Well,
It's a major controversy because when you talk about what the future beholds and the kingdom and all that, you have to establish, well, who is to inherit the kingdom to come? Who are the true biblical Israelites? So it plays a major part in prophecy. That's why these things got to be talked about, and we know we're coming closer to the end. So somebody got to be the wicked, somebody got to be the righteous, right? Because there's a lot of judgment that has to take place. So you gotta be able to name who fits who in prophecy. You know?
I got a precept for what he just said. This is Jeremiah 17:4. I don't know if you brought that out just now. It says,
no.
and thou shalt even thyself shalt discontinue from thy heritage.
There you go. So you say the white man taught us the Bible. Well, the Bible says that we want to discontinue from our heritage. Did the little hat, okay, did the other the people that you believe are the Israelites, did they can discontinue from their heritage, sir? Or do they have a succession of being an imposter?
Yeah. Oh, man.
They have a succession and a history of impersonating the real Israelites, which are us.
Right.
Yeah, so they discontinue from their heritage by stealing knives.
Yeah, and who are they serving?
Yeah,
If they're the people of God, who are
exactly.
they serving?
You can claim that they were put in the oven, but they were not in slavery.
Right.
All right. Good.
And it says, and thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thy enemies. So who are their enemies?
Right.
Themselves?
Yeah, the other brothers, the other tribal
Exactly.
brothers that are different from a different tribe. No,
None.
y'all work together.
Yeah.
Some of them don't. Some of y'all don't like each other. But for the main part, y'all get along. You know, y'all do business with each other.
And those so-called Nazis, all of them were so-called Jews as well.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I got a book called Hitler's JEW Soldiers.
Yeah.
And it gives you the ranks of these military officers, and their line is of the little hats. Yeah. So it's basically Caucasian on Caucasian crime going on. Yeah. And again, they didn't go into slavery. Key point.
It says, I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thy enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever.
Right. Yeah. So the worst slavery, the worst conditions, the Lord put His people through. All right, and it's recorded in our history. It's not recorded in any Caucasian group's history of the worst slavery, the worst captivity ever on the face of the earth. Losing our heritage, losing our language, our culture, we lost that. And we got it back through reading the scriptures. All right? The elect of us anyway, small group. All right? Is that more?
Yeah, that was it.
Okay. All right.
Isaiah 25, verse 7, and he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people and the veil that is spread over all nations.
Right, so that's what we're bringing out now. We're destroying your lies. All right, we're destroying your lies. All right. So right now, the argument between who are the biblical Israelites, who are the real Israelites, we're winning that argument. All right, we are winning that argument. We got the archaeology, we got the paintings, we got the before the Renaissance. Okay, so he would go on the Renaissance art. You know, we go before Renaissance art. Right.
Well,
the people of the land drew Saint Nicholas, Constantine the Great, Peter,
I'm glad you mentioned
Gabriel, all those. They drew all them dark-skinned men with woolly hair.
Right. I was just gonna say, brother was scrolling up at some of the comments he was making. See, you don't understand again prophecy. There was a period where Israel was Hellenized.
Yup.
So this is why you have terms like Gentile, Greek, and even heathen that are really applicable to the Israelites because they became foreigners. Okay, so they don't. He don't understand. You got to read the Maccabees. All right, you're reading the wrong books. You got to get into the Maccabees. That's how you understand the Hellenization of Israel. Some of them willingly participated in becoming accustomed to the Greeks' nation, heritage, language, and customs. And then some of them did it unwillingly. They were forced into it.
Yep.
Okay?
We gotta get that precept about.
And those are the people that the Lord said can return.
And those
back.
are the people that can return back.
Right, the one Israelites that were Hellenized.
We gotta get the precept where it talks about who's that Simon called Neger,
What is he saying?
because he's saying
What
that
called
it's
Greeks?
evident that that the Jew. What did he say? He said it's obvious that whites are Israel. But
Whites.
whites
What?
are Israel. He also said He
Well,
also
white's
said that
not even a race.
he said that
I buffed that out. He's remedial.
Colossians
He
3
jumps from
Colossians
point to
3 and
point.
11. He says here there is no Greek or Jew, circumcised or uncircumcised.
Well, look.
And he's basically saying they're all white. All those people.
Oh,
are
well,
white.
we can just crack that real quick. So, friends, what you got?
Well, that's why.
And then we'll go to
Well, look, I already
Acts
answered
13.
that. The Hellenization in Israel proves why it made that statement. There's no Jew or Greek because they're the same people.
Yeah, same exact race.
The difference is you had one sect of Israelites that knew that they were Israelites, okay, and the other sect didn't know. Or they knew that they were Israelites, but they spoke the Greek language through Hellenization.
Right.
It's
Right.
literally that
If
simple.
he doesn't know that,
it's literally
then
that simple.
You can't even put forth a rational
Right.
argument. You're not even
Well,
qualified
he needs
to
to.
speak.
If he's gonna say
You're not
that,
qualified to speak on that if
read-
you don't know about the Hellenization of Jews.
read Romans the 9th chapter.
Right. Well, he ain't gonna read.
Read Romans the 9th chapter.
He's gonna read.
Do your due diligence. All right.
You're gonna get. That was it. No, that was all you had. Read what you got, nigga. Act like 13.
Gone.
And again, that's just to clarify for anybody who's
Right.
looking at his ridiculous comments.
Right.
You know.
It's not difficult.
It's
You
not
have to
difficult.
read it. You have to actually read the information instead of ignoring the information. Yeah, you have to do that.
The things that
He's
he
about-
he sounds more like a troll than someone who's actually
Right.
trying to debate.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, again, you can't do nothing for the truth, but
Yeah.
you can't do nothing against the truth.
He
before
trying
the
to save all people. He trying to save all people. The Lord ain't dealing with all people. The Lord ain't even dealing with all Israel right now.
truth. Right.
But anyway, the Lord only dealing with the elected of the nation of Israel. Go ahead.
Gone. This Baruch 3 and 8, it says, Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us, for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments.
Subject to payments. Okay, man, we got to pay money out, exorbitant amounts of money just to live, to function.
Yeah, I don't see the, small hats living like that.
Right.
Subject to
And
payments.
it actually hurts us.
Right.
You know, like it's like we trying to figure out whether to eat or pay a cell phone bill. You know, what?
It says, to be subject to payments according to the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our power.
Right. Again, the majority of the little guys that wear the little hats, okay, they're in a very good financial position. Right? That's it.
Baba Kashak, can you read that one more time? It's like I don't mean to be long. I just want to make a point real quick on that.
It says, verse 9, Hear Israel the commandments of life, give ear to understand wisdom. How happeneth it, Israel, that thou art in thy enemy's land, that thou art waxen old in a strange country, that thou art defiled with the dead?
Read what you just read, Akna. Did you read down?
Oh, that one again? Gone. Baruch 3 and 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us, for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments, according to the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our power.
Right. We live in a system built upon fees. Everything comes with a fee. See, the brother read Deuteronomy 28 and 68. Yeah, we're yet in this day our captivity, right? So the chains came off, but now how are we bond, right? How are we still bond? Through adhesion contracts, okay? Through these paper bonds. Everything comes with a contract, and when you sign your name on that contract, you make yourself subservient, okay, to whatever the contract states. And that's how this place was set up. Now, who set that system into place? Esau. Everything comes with a fee. Everything comes with a contract.
Yeah,
You're
and they said the children
contractually
of
bound
Israel-
to whatever, is written in that contract.
It's the children of Israel that's subject. The whole
Right, because
country's subject.
disproportionately,
Right,
we are.
but we are disproportionately, but the subject
Affected by
matter
that.
is the Israelites are the ones that are suffering from these contracts.
Right.
Everybody's suffering, but who the Lord cares about.
Right.
The subject matter is the Israelites are suffering from that subjection to payment.
That's right.
Right?
That's right. That's right.
Now, so you can't try to group everybody together. No, we're not together. The Lord has a specific people who he's referring to on specific precepts. All right. Israelites being subject to payments. Yeah, everybody's subject to a payment, right? But the Lord is concerned about the Israelites being subject to payments. Because we're the apple of the Lord's eye. The Lord cares for us. All right? That was it for one precept you had?
Yeah, then I have another full precept.
Yeah, read it. And then read it.
Gone. This Sirach 22 and 13. It says, talk not much with the fool, and go not to him that hath no understanding. Beware of him, lest thou have trouble, and thou shalt never be defiled by with his foolery.
Right, yeah, so if you were standing in front of our face, but you have all that skipping from subject to subject, we will make you deal with each subject matter. Right now, since you're on a comment board, you can run to another subject. But if you were right here in front of our face, you wouldn't be allowed to do that.
He just said I would totally destroy you guys if I was there.
And what?
In stupidity?
He's talking about Esau taught us the Bible. Well, the slave Bible
Nah, I think this
contained.
is fire.
They left what they did.
Yeah.
All right,
It says it's a little more. Gone. It says, depart from him, and thou shalt find rest, and never be disquieted with madness. Yeah. So, yeah, that's the point.
all right, go to Acts 13.
Gone. This Acts 13:1. Now. This Acts 13:1. Now there were in the church that was at Antioch certain prophets and teachers, of Barnabas, and Simeon, and that was called Niger.
Yeah.
And Lucius of Cyrene.
Yeah, he has to explain that. For you to say so boldly that Israel's white and that everybody was white, you have to explain that one person that was black, because there must be only one person then. Because when you look at that word, it's more than just, a plate. It's actual characteristic of that person. So you have to explain that one person that was black.
And that just means dark, very dark brown
Exactly. Yeah.
Nigger.
Yeah.
Nigger.
Yeah. He has to explain that, man.
How about showing the camera?
He has to explain that.
When did the white people go on slavery?
Definition of the word.
Yep.
We can't hold more than one thing in his head at the same time.
Yeah, here's the pronunciation. It's not Niger.
You say something, you're gonna forget
It's
what
not.
you said.
It's Niger in the Greek. All right. But if you're going to pronunciate in the English, Niger, you would pronounce it nigger. That's how you would pronounce it in English.
Salaki, I want to know at what point in history did Esau ever have to work to buy his own freedom?
Right. Never. And if you're talking about indentured servants, those are Israelites. Irish that were indentured servants.
That's right.
Those are Israelites.
Because you said everybody had slaves.
All right.
Romans chapter 8, verse 16. The Spirit itself bears witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High.
All right. Yeah, what prophecies fit us. And our customs fit us. All right. And the customs that we practice fit. All right. They don't fit different groups of Caucasians or the other nations. They fit us. All right. Precept? Precept?
Yeah, I got it.
You got precept too? Yep. And with you. Go ahead.
This is Isaiah chapter 25 and verse 7.
Yep.
And it says, and he will destroy in this mountain
Brother read it earlier too. Go ahead.
the face of the covering cast over all people,
Yep.
and the veil that is spread over all nations.
Yeah, so the war between who's the biblical Israelites, we're winning that information war. Our information is far superior than the little hat guy's information. They don't. All they say is they can speak Hebrew more fluently, and that's not even real Hebrew. But they can speak Hebrew more fluently, all right? And they're mainly in the land. Only 2 points they can stand on. But when it comes to the culture, the prophecies, the curses, the blessings, we fit all those. They fit the part of, they stole the land, they stole our heritage. They don't fit the part of the curses and the blessings, right? And the prophecies, they don't fit that. All right, so we're winning that information war.
Yeah. And what's funny is that I heard like online.
And the images, the image, go to the, before the Renaissance, all the images are dark, right?
Yeah, and what's funny, about, these guys, or, the small hats, basically boasting that you know they can speak the Hebrew. I believe like they to actually you know read through the biblical Hebrew. You know, I have to take classes because it's so much different. You know, towards the modern Hebrew.
Yep.
You know, I was going into that.
Oh yeah, that is true because modern Hebrew is different from biblical Hebrew, ancient Hebrew.
Yeah, just like the grammar and like
Grammar,
you know,
yeah. So yeah, you would have to. They would have to study up on that. But they don't speak. The little hats don't speak the biblical Hebrew. They speak the modern Hebrew. All right. So they would have to actually study up on that to get understanding. Like they speak differently. Like in the land of Israel, they're over there now. They don't speak like in parables, like how the Bible is. That's actually in Hebrew. You go to the Hebrew, those are actual parables that is translated into English. They don't speak like that in the land of Israel right now. Those little hat guys. Right? So we win in the information world. All right. Every part of it. You got a precept?
Yep.
All right, read your first.
This is James 2 and 5. Hearken, my beloved brethren, have not Yahweh chosen the poor of this world rich in faith and the heirs of the kingdom which he hath promised to them that love him?
And that's the point we made earlier. The poor. All right. The little hats can't be the people because they're rich. They own the banks. It's impossible. I said it like 15 times. It's impossible for any group of Caucasians to be the biblical Israelites. Right? But they got the power over what? The air, sea, and the earth. All right? It tells you that in the scriptures that the Lord's people were going to be poor. All right, for the main part. The majority of us are going to be poor. All right? So it is absolutely, virtually, in every dimension for them to be the biblical Israelites. It's impossible because they're so rich and powerful, they actually made up fake money that everybody bought into. They've created fake money that everybody trades with. That's how powerful they are. They're rich to be able to do that. To create a Federal Reserve note that they just create out of nothing and they just trade with each other. Now we can't do that.
And they don't need to be saved.
Yeah, they don't need to be saved. That's another point. They don't need. That's an excellent point. What the hell they need to be saved from? Well, from each other. But they don't need to be saved. We the ones that need help. We the ones that they got mental health issues. Okay, impoverished. All right, dependent on the system, psychologically depending on the system. You got people that are really literally raised up just to get on the system. So as soon as, like the woman, as soon as they get pregnant, they go right to the system. They get rid of the man, or the man be around, but she just work the system, you know, so they can have a little bit more money. Esau don't have to do that, even though Esau does do that too. Right? But our people are literally raised up to do that, right? And it's cultural. Esau don't have to do that, right? For the main part, they're doing very well, right? And if they're not doing very well, they got to go to their leaders and like, why you gave us, why don't they have a piece of the power that they stole, right? So if you were, like elders would say, that you were a two-time loser. If you're a so-called white man and you're poor, you're a two-time. You should be rich. You should go to your leaders, get a grant, start a fucking business or something, right? Or steal and rob, you know, like your ancestors did, right? But you shouldn't be poor. If you're a so-called white man, you're poor. You getting fucked because you about to go into slavery. When the kingdom come in, you go into slavery. Right? Your point. Yep.
Proverbs 28:1. The wicked flee when no man pursueth, but the righteous are bold as a lion.
Right, yeah, so if we had a little hat in front of us and we started to bring out the artwork, he said, remember back then I don't do it no more, but you know how information used to come out and then he started fucking running down the street. The elders used to do that all the time.
When they were at the museum. That happened when they were at the museum.
Oh yeah.
When the Edomite came up,
right,
and they started going to the icons, he started walking away.
But the thing is, the icons were everywhere. But when he started explaining it,
yeah.
Like Esau, he'll go look at like archaeological finds or dark by itself. But if another melanated person next to him, he's like, oh shit, he gets scared. But when he by himself, he's cool. All dark, and he'll keep it to himself. They're natural. They practice liars. There was an Edomite in those museums seeing all that dark art. and they keep that information to themselves. Right?
Yeah.
Esau is a natural liar. He'll go out into the world, don't say nothing to nobody, and continue to believe, and to think that the Lord was a so-called white man.
Right.
Go with the Edomite so-called white supremacy, but he knows about the museums where all the dark art is, but he'll just keep it to himself. That's a truly wicked person. But again, that's why we're here to remove the covering cast. Right? Yep.
That was it.
I'll read it again.
Proverbs 28:1. The wicked flee when no man pursue it, but the righteous are bold as a lion.
Right, so we're going to stand our ground when it comes to these points. All right? The information war about who's the Israelites, who the biblical Israelites are, we're winning, okay? It's not even, you haven't, Esau, the so-called white man, hasn't even won not 1 point. Only thing he can say is he's in the land right now, which the Bible says that land is going to be completely destroyed. Then the Lord going to rejuvenate the earth and bring it back, and bring us back. All right, so you want to end on a point?
Shoot.
Otherwise,
This is real quick. This is Psalms chapter 50 and 16 says, "But unto the wicked the Most High saith, What hast thou to do to declare my statutes, so that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth?"
Good point. Excellent point. Esau, the so-called white man is the most wickedest man on this planet. How dare he grab the Bible and try to act like he's righteous?
Right.
How dare he do that?
Make you swear in when you go to court to tell the truth.
And don't follow nothing in the scripture.
Right. But the court system itself is a deceitful, deceptive system. It's not a justice system, it's a legal system. And their legal their legality doesn't equate to morality. Okay? And vice versa. They'll make something illegal that has nothing to do with immorality.
Like adultery, like you kill somebody that had sex with your wife.
Right.
Right? You go to jail.
That's right.
For murder. Premeditated murder or
Yep.
whatever they charge you with. Well, biblically, that's justified.
Yep.
Because that's your property. Your woman is your flesh.
Yep.
She belongs to you.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah. Just one of
That's
many
among
one of
thing.
many examples. One of many examples.
And they saying the dude that got murdered may have been sleeping with the one of the police officers' wife. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
You
The
heard about
Tyree.
that? Tyree.
Yeah.
Memphis, Tennessee.
Yeah.
I'm hearing. I don't know if it's true or not, but they saying that he might have been sleeping with one of the officers' wives that I guess beat him up.
Yeah.
They were like five black officers. I
Yeah.
believe. He died from his wounds in the hospital a couple days later. So they're saying there might be a point. But who knows?
Right.
It could
Now-
be true. It could be fake news or whatever.
And now that's another example of how. Now I'm not saying that any of those Jakes are right or anything, but the attorney for the family was saying how, look at when it was a black man on another black man in terms of crime and the police officer involved, how quickly they expedited the case.
Oh, yeah.
When
Oh,
you,
okay.
but when it's a white man, a white officer, they have to do
Gotta
this
figure things
drawn out,
Yeah, gotta-
6-month long,
Pay,
year
suspended without
investigation.
Suspended with pay.
Suspended
That's
with pay.
doing
We don't know
something
all the
like that.
details. They fucking had all the evidence. Bam, boom. We got the. So the guy was saying, their attorney was saying, listen, this sets a precedence. There's no reason why you got everything on footage, everything you would need to see to make a verdict moving forward, where we need to make a 6-month long investigation out of it when it comes to white officers committing these same types of crimes. Which is a point. I'm just speaking from the attorney side of things, which is a Jake. I forget his name, but he made a good point. You know, but then shit, if that happens to be true, if that dude was caught sleeping with another man's wife, then technically that dude is justified in whooping his ass. You know, and the result of that was death. I mean, but that's not how society looks at things.
Right.
You know, there's a lot of times where if a man committed a sin that was worthy to death, it would be a public execution. They would gather that man, and people would pick up stones and stone him to death. And it would set a precedence, would put fear in the onlookers. You don't have that.
Yeah, and I believe the first,
You know?
people that put laid hands on you, I believe the people that closest to whatever crime was committed. First, the stone.
Right,
first,
right.
First.
Right. You're not supposed to prolong it. That's another thing.
Right. Oh yeah, yeah. Well, we supposed to have a speedy trial.
Right. The judgment is supposed to be expedited. It's not supposed to be prolonged.
Right.
You know, and all that. But anyway, reading on, it says, seeing thou hatest instruction and castest my words behind thee.
So-called white man hates instruction. That's why he creates new sets of rules so he can get around that shit.
Yep.
Right? And remember, all the rules that benefit us is really to benefit the so-called white
Oh,
man.
yeah.
The rich ones anyway.
Right.
And we just happen to have the same laws apply to us. It's not only for our, it's not just for our benefit. It's so Esau can get the tax breaks and all that.
Right.
We just happen, if we get to make a certain amount, then we can get the same stuff too. But it really is made for the rich so-called white people.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, they designed those loopholes and things of that nature for themselves.
Right, yeah, like the amendments and all that, that was for Esau.
Yep.
Like the searches and seizures,
Yep.
like they don't want the government coming in and taking their products and all that.
Right.
You know?
That's right. That's
but,
right.
But, you know, it's for all people here in America, supposedly. But it's originally for rich
Originally
so-called white
for Esau, right. It says, when thou sawest a thief, then thou consentest with him and has been partaker with adulterers. Last point. Back on by. Thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit.
That's Esau all the way. Esau all the way. That's why the cops gotta wear body cameras now. Because before then, they was getting away with so much damn shit.
Right.
Man,
Right.
can't even count.
Exactly.
That's how we started the slavery back up by throwing so-called black people back in jail for doing minor crimes, or crimes that you wouldn't even know was actual crime. So they're throwing in jail after so-called Emancipation Proclamation.
Right.
Right? Esau, he's the most crafty liar. He lies so damn much. You gotta have legal counsel to combat them damn lies. Video evidence and witnesses and everything. And Esau, his main point is to cast you down, to put you in a bad position. Right? But scripture cast him down from his excellency.
God.
Yeah? That's why we gotta be careful. We gotta record the police.
Yeah.
Whenever the cops come up and start talking to you, have your tape recorder ready, your video camera ready. No matter what kind of conversation you have, whether it's consensual, non-consensual, have it ready.
That'll set the tone, because if you don't have that, then it's likely that things can go very bad for you.
They're already recording you anyway.
Right.
So they record you automatically with their body camera, and you got to do a FOIA request just to get it. Then they can redact whatever they want.
Yep.
They can blur out faces, blur out. They can mute it and all that. So why go through the trouble to have your own video ready?
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
At the least.
You see a lot of videos too where police become very hostile when they see a video camera.
Right, but they always recording you though.
Because right.
Come on, man.
Because now it levels the playing field, so to speak. Because if they were to do anything that was, let's say, an overreach in their authority,
no problem cause.
If they were violating your so-called rights, then at least you have an account. Because when if you had to go to court, it would just simply be your word versus their word. And if brothers ever had any experience in traffic court or otherwise, that the police officer and the judge, they favor one another. All right? They favor one another.
The officers under the judge.
Right. It reminds me of when you were saying that, reminds me of that episode of In Living Color with Jim Carrey. And he was going through each one that was a major threat. And the one that he pointed out as the major threat was the guy with the camera. He says, there's your enemy right there. You take him out, you're able to take everybody else out at your own leisure. So anyway, that's the evil system we live in, man. But that was all that I had. Just making the point again.
Anybody else got anything else you want to add real quick?
I got it. God, this Romans 8:16, the Spirit itself beareth witness with. The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High.
It's us. The Bible fits us. Prophecies fit us. Anybody else? You got to preach up? No. We're good.
Hey, With that, we want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakash.
Let's give the double honors unto our apostles and elders at Great Millstone. Shalom to the hopeful elect, while Baba Bo.